Hang on.
So, how was Gran Canaria? How was your holiday? I haven't
It was
spoken to
good.
you in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it was really good. It was relaxed. Um, there was a couple of days that were really, really, really overcast, no sun at all.
That sucks.
It did suck. So we spent a few days like, oh, fuck, this is a waste of money. And then the last like one evening it cleared up, and then after that it was just completely clear for the rest of the time we were there. So it was perfect.
So I know you've been before. Did you go to the same, like, was it the same resort that you've been to before, or did you go to a
No,
different place?
it wasn't the same hotel. It was the same area. Like it was just the south. Like we always go to Puerto Rico, but we stayed in a different
Oh,
hotel.
do you ever go to like Maspalomas or anything like that?
No, we didn't. We literally didn't leave Puerto Rico. We went to Amadores and Mogan. It was like a boat ride away, but we didn't. We didn't really venture into the island at all. We just kind of stayed on that south coast.
Of course, I mean.
Okay, we didn't go that far around. I don't know. The
Fair enough.
geography's not great. But yeah, no, we didn't bother.
So you were there, were you just there for a week?
Mm-hmm. Yarp. Should have stayed maybe a little longer, given the weather for a couple of days was a bit shitty, but we didn't know that in advance. So
Yeah.
yeah, it went really quickly. But at the same time, you can only do so many days of just lying on the beach, not doing anything, without getting kind of fidgety and a bit bored. And, I mean, Laura read like 5 books in the space of a week.
Nope, I could do a million days on the beach. It feels like that right now, at least. I feel like I could
Oh
run on
yeah.
the beach.
But like, I mean, it seems really weird. When me and you grow up, Mum would be like, "Let's organise something for tomorrow," and like, "I'll pick up these leaflets," and he used to drive us both mental.
It drives me crazy.
And now, like, so I could do 7 days of just doing not a whole lot. But like anywhere 10 days, definitely 2 weeks, I would want to be like, okay, let's go explore, let's do something different. I couldn't just sit still like that.
I would just want to try a different beach.
That's not a bad shout.
Are you bored? Yeah, let's go find another beach.
Hmm. I mean, I only went in the sea once.
Yeah.
Really cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the temperature like when you were over there?
It was on the good days, maybe 27.
It was cold.
I mean, colder than outside of the sea. There was a noticeable difference from being dry and in 27-degree heat to under cold seawater.
Well, I mean, if it's, I mean, here at least, when it's that kind of temperature, the water's not cold. I mean, it's not a jacuzzi or hot tub or anything, but
Yeah, I mean, you know, like if you go to Europe or somewhere hot anywhere, they don't heat the pools and stuff, so it takes a little bit of
yeah,
time to get into them. I take like a full 45 minutes to get into pools, so getting into the sea is not great.
it's cold on your vagina.
It's just the top bit is more sensitive than the rest.
That's disgusting.
Well, you started it, but yeah, so it was a good
Sensitive,
holiday. It was
sensitive badge syndrome over there.
SVS. That's very cool.
It's rife in the male population. I'll have you. Laura's, was it, how many of Laura's family went out? Was it just her mum and stepdad?
Yeah,
Why?
they. So we went like 4 years ago, almost. Well, not almost to the day, like a couple months apart. Um, but we went to a really really nice hotel, and Laura's mum was like, "I just want a lazy 10 days in the sun, not doing a whole lot." And Laura said, "We went here, we loved it. It was really really great." Because we weren't going to go on holiday at all this year, so we recommended this place, and then we got a few more
Well done
months.
then.
Yeah, went a few more months, and we're like, we need a break. Like we can't keep doing this over and over without some kind of break to look forward to. So we booked like it was really cheap between the two of us. It was yeah for 10 days or for 7 days flights and accommodation. It was 600 quid, so it was 300 quid each. So we kind of kept it as cheap as we could. and we were looking at going in May time, like late May. And Laura's mum was like, "Why don't you just come to our place for a bit? Like, you could just like come the same time as we are, because then we can use their hotel and use their nicer pool, and we can go out for meals and stuff." Because Laura living up here obviously doesn't get too much time with her mum, so they had a really good time laughing and joking and getting along. And I could go out and drink and hang out with her stepdad, so it was good fun. It worked out really well. It was just the right amount. I think any more than that, we would have kind of got on each other's toes maybe, but it worked out. It was really fun.
So how long were you there for together?
4 days? Yeah, 4 days.
You staying at the same resort as them?
No, no. So we stayed at like a cheap and cheerful hotel. Like a, remember the first time? I don't know if you'll remember the first time we ever came to see you. We stayed in a place called the Carla Nova, that was like up in the hill. No, it was like 2 minutes further up from there.
We're 9 years.
Yeah, so it wasn't anything special, but it was just kind of like had a decent pool and a place to sunbathe and a nice like a standard hotel room. But Laura's mum's hotel was much closer to the beach and had a nice pool, and it was just, I think it's like 4 stars and ours was 3, something like that. So you could pretty much tell what you were for. So yeah, that was the deal. So I heard you suggested some activities to mum for when you come over here.
Yeah, just like little bits and pieces. Nothing crazy. And most of it's for Nora, so it's nothing.
I heard you want to
because sorry.
I heard you want to take her to archery. Yeah, archery mint, but she's 4.
It's Robin Hood themed.
She still can't fire a bow and arrow. She's 4.
James, they set the age at 6, and she's bigger than most 6-year-olds. So, and even if she can't do that one, even if they're like, no, she's too small, then they have a kids version that's for it's for like 2 to 5 or something like that. And then 6 to 10 is next, or 6 to 12 is something like they have different levels for different people. And I mean, just because it's archery, it's not always what you think it is. Like they have much easier bows to pull.
Oh yeah,
they're not as tight to pull. So I mean,
I'm not implying that they would give a grown man's bow, but it's still like a pretty coordinated thing to do.
Yeah, it could be dead eye.
Hmm.
Nicole wants to do it too. She's like, it's funny how she, in her mind, we're going to this really exotic place and going to England. She's like, I want to experience it.
I mean, I feel like she's going to be so mad when you take her to Park Farm.
Oh, she can't be. That place is so.
But imagine how different. Like if you were ever to try and polarize American food to English food, that is going to be a shock to her system. How English that place is.
That's true.
Like
you should have roast beef.
Yeah. Oh.
That's it. What did she? Hold on. What did she have to say?
Well, she said the food was shit.
Well, it's a good job she's not invited anymore. That's ridiculous.
What did I just say about you filthy?
I have on the itinerary. I have us going for lunch on the first day we get there.
Yeah, that's ambitious.
Why is that ambitious?
Because every time you come home since you moved to America, you spend the first day asleep.
I mean, I have to eat, and we get there at like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. Well, no, it's not true. We get there at 10 o'clock in the morning, so we could just head back. On the way home, we could just stop in at Park Farm.
I guess
it's all been. It's I have it down to a fine schedule.
All right. See how it goes.
All right. I'm done messing around. Yeah. Use my phone to charge. Do you have any funny stories from being?
Do I have any what? Sorry.
You don't have any funny stories from being in Gran Canaria? I expected there to be some like humorous anecdotes of you shorts on or something.
I don't know, nothing particularly springs to mind. It was a fairly PG holiday.
Sounds like there's no reason for you to go at this point. Didn't benefit this podcast whatsoever.
I have shorts that aren't particularly like they're very thin shorts. They're not like see-through or anything. But when you like when you get up out of a pool, like everything clings a little tighter. They aren't particularly subtle shorts. So I have to be very careful there are no pool and no children by the pool. If
Everyone can see the dong.
Everyone can see my dong.
You dong. I like how we spell it. You said madong, like it was M apostrophe dong.
Yeah.
And now I called it yadong.
We're a Chinese cousin.
Excuse me?
I made a terrible racist joke.
What did you say?
We were Chinese cousins.
Yeah, I'm glad you. I wish I hadn't. It was terrible.
Yeah, you shouldn't have drawn attention to it, but thanks. Yeah, I haven't done anything dumb in a while.
That doesn't sound right.
Laura, have I done anything dumb? Yeah, can you name anything?
No?
Oh, see?
This is
We
ridiculous.
changed man.
This is ridiculous. Well, that's the main reason that we even started this podcast was so that you would start doing dumb things and we could talk about it. So you're actually inhibiting us, limiting our productivity.
The hot topic, because I went out for a drink today, and the hot topic was the fact that because me and Laura have been together for 4.5 years.
Okay.
But I still think it is courteous if you share a hotel room or a small confined living quarter that you don't want to expose someone to the fact that you take a dump in like every day.
They're so bizarre. I don't understand how you can possibly not know.
Because I just think I don't know. I mean, clearly I am the only one that has this thought because I could Laura stunk up the place. But I asked today and she was like, yeah, like I did. Why? And I was like, I didn't for 6 days.
Why?
I don't know, some live podcast. Because I didn't want to make it uncomfortable for everyone.
Uncomfortable for you?
Because every time you were out, I was also out. I'm sorry, love, I need a crap.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I mean, I do realise that that's what people do, you know.
Not me, I'm a gentleman.
No, you're an idiot.
You know what? Laura just said I'm full of shit, and actually I am.
Yeah, I feel like that had to be agonizingly painful.
Most days.
Like whenever you were at a restaurant or something, you're not like, I'm just gonna excuse myself. And then like I understand not even then, I understand like if you take 20 minutes and you come back, everyone's like, I know what you were doing. But like if you just like, I'll be right back. And you just leg it and just squeeze it out real fast.
You know what the case is with those? First of all, there's two prongs here. First off, food in a restaurant, questionable anywhere. Spain by a beach where they have like toilet paper that is this thin and probably a non-flushing toilet. That's not a situation.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's not what I want to get caught in. Second of all, as soon as you think, okay, this has to be fast, it's going to turn into like, I'm still wiping and I'm still wiping. It just won't stop.
It's like trying to wipe a Sharpie or something.
Exactly. Yes.
Disgusting.
Apparently I'm sleeping. See, this is what I mean. Like I make 2 poo jokes. Apparently I'm sleeping on the beanbag tonight.
Why are you sleeping on a beanbag? No, that is unusual. I'm not really sure why you two, especially having lived together for 2 years, and especially now. The weird thing is, I'm absolutely convinced that Dad has made some kind of reference. All right, I'm going to go take a crap. Are you just mortified whenever Dad does that?
No, because it's not me.
But is it not the acknowledgement that somebody else is making, what is it, is having a bodily function?
Not repeating that on a podcast. No. What did you say, Laura? Nothing.
Too good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm supposed to be attractive to the person I'm with, and if I kick up a storm and rot out the bottom of the bathroom or something, never mind. She's not attracted to me anymore anyway. All that hard work and 6 days worth of not crapping wasn't worth it. I've managed to say it by rotting out the floor.
Well done. Top-notch effort.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of, this actually kind of segues into something that somebody brought up to me at work yesterday.
Sure.
So since episode 1, when we talked about bathroom etiquette in depth, I've somehow become kind of the
guru,
the go-to for any mishaps that may happen in there.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy that I work with, whose name is Josh,
let's keep it anonymous.
Well, every time because I referenced him a couple of times and he listens, and so every time he knows he's referenced, he's like, "Bro, I'm going to shout out." Every time something happens, he like comes over to me while I'm working. He's like, "Dude, post it." All right, okay. So he was telling me he was in there, and I could see the look in his eye. Like you could see something just went down. He was thrown off. He wasn't his usual self.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he stood at the urinal. And so I've told you about this before. There are people that will go into the public bathrooms at work and they brush their teeth.
Yeah, you did mention this.
I just think it's disgusting to do that in general. But some people are okay with it. I mean, it seems like a lot of people do it, so obviously people are okay with it. But for the most part, they stay confined to the sink area. Josh was saying he's at the urinal and this dude walks over and takes the urinal next to him, but he's holding his toothbrush. Like he wasn't brushing his teeth. So there's like a little ledge in front of, like the urinals are strapped, attached to the wall on.
Yeah.
And so some people will be like stereotypical old white man will just like put their arms on it and like,
mm-hmm.
while they're handling their business. He said this guy was just like one hand, toothbrush in his hand, and he just like handling his business, just waving his toothbrush around all over the place. I'm like, are you serious? I hope he said something to him. He's like, I couldn't, didn't know what to do.
You can report into HR. That is, I'm taking that man's hand. I'm not going near him. Certainly not smelling his breath.
Well, so whenever he was telling me the story, the guy that sits next to me was like, oh. I was like, did you say anything to him? And he said no. And Kenneth was like, sorry. He was like, I've only ever really said something to somebody one time in the bathroom. I was like, oh, what was the situation? He said, well, this guy came in behind me and he was like, and I was taking care, I was like fixing my hair or whatever it was. I was like tucking my shirt in or something while I'm washing my hands. And this guy comes in, uses the restroom, walks right out. And as he got to the door, he was like, I just looked at him and was like, dude. He came and was like, yeah. You're not going to wash your hands? And he's like, fine. And went in and washed his hands. Like that's a terrible request to make of anybody. How crazy is that? Somebody
might have had hand wash on his desk. Maybe he had hand sanitizer by his desk and he was just going to do it then.
Maybe you should still wash your hands because that's disgusting. Because even if you do have hand sanitizer at your desk, he's still going to go grab hold of the handle to open the door on his hand before he moves it back. Like if he goes to the kitchen, or if he's going downstairs, he's going to touch the handrail. Like, come on, man! Like you gotta.
Yeah, I do see your point.
Right, somebody was saying that's why at a restaurant you're never supposed to take the minutes that they offer at the end. Like if they're like, whenever you're on your way out and they have this big bowl of mints. even if they're in the wrapper, people say that you shouldn't take them because people will go to the restroom before they leave the restaurant, not wash their hands, and then they just dig in the bowl and get pee-pee hands all over the mints.
Yeah.
How disgusting is that?
So this whole...
And
Oh.
whenever we heard this, Josh and I try to rationalize our way around it. I'm like, well, that's why I pick up the mint and I just like try to squeeze it out of the wrapper. Like,
so this whole old white men leaning on the thing in front like this.
Yeah.
How often do you pee without like handling your business? Like you just let it fly free?
Without handling my piece, you mean?
Yeah. I think that's weird.
I used to too, but it's very liberating.
I just don't know how to trust it.
I mean, I don't do it all. It's not every time, and I've never put my hands on there to lean. Like I feel like the kind of person that leans on the ledge to pee is the same person who has prostate issues. Like you're too old. Like
that's a big leap.
No, it's not. Like I feel like you have to reposition yourself to do it. Like why else would you need to lean?
Some people just have bad posture and are lazy. It doesn't mean they've got prostate issues.
They're called Keith.
They are called Keith. That sounded
coma, but like a Bobby Charlton, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting, though. I'm not okay with that.
Oh, that's absolutely rank. So I also don't know. Like I keep intending to move away from this topic. Like I don't think this podcast should revolve around bathroom tales.
No,
it feels like every week somebody comes and tells me, or like you, something seems to come up. That means that it does. It's like a segment of our podcast almost now. I'm okay with it. It is quite funny. It's amusing.
it is.
It seems to be one of the most talked about topics after we release these things too.
Well, it probably is if that's all we talk about during the podcast.
Well, I mean, we talked about other stuff. Like last week or whenever it was, we talked about the making of a man, and people
did that get any feedback?
Pretty mixed reviews. Some people agreed with you, and some people agreed with me. Did you share it with anybody last time?
I actually didn't know. I completely forgot last time.
Good job, mate. Well done.
I'm sharing the word. I'll tell someone about this one.
I'm sure you will. Anyway. Oh, did I tell you that I officially signed up for a jiu-jitsu competition?
I had not mentioned that in any great detail. No, I'm not. I don't know how I feel about that.
What do you mean? What do you?
So, explain this. I think you've probably explained it before. Jiu-jitsu. Is there any striking, or is it all holds and groundwork?
It is zero striking. No striking whatsoever. It's all. So you start on your feet. There are two forms of jiu-jitsu. There's gi and no gi. Gi is like what you see where people doing karate or judo. It's like the big jacket and the pants.
Oh yeah.
And then no gi is just regular workout clothes, I guess, like rash guards, tights, that kind of stuff. But so I signed up for gi and no gi. But the whole point of it is that it's like joint manipulation and grappling. Like
my only issue is I don't think I have a problem. I mean, you are gonna put unconscious fairly easily. I don't know how. Huh?
You watch your mouth.
But like, I don't know how. I mean, it just depends how sensible you're being, I guess. But if someone's about to choke you out, it's probably not a good idea to just go with that.
Well, no. I mean, if you're getting choked out and there's no way out, then you tap.
Yeah, but it depends because I know how competitive you can get. So you would be like, no, I can break out of this, and then before you know it, you're waking up somewhere else.
What's that movie?
I was so close. What's
that movie? Is it Pineapple Express when they tie him up and he's like, I'm just gonna bust out of here anyway. And he goes. I feel like that's what
exactly.
I feel like you think that's what's going to happen to me. Like I'm in some kind of chokehold and like, no, I'm busting out.
Exactly that.
I'm passing out.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a concern, and also I was more concerned about you just getting like because it's not professional. Like, there's a guy that I used to work with who would box, and he would just show up with like big lips and like a bruised eye or something. Like, that doesn't look professional. You need to stop showing up like you just got fucked up.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's one of my things. So there's one of the guys that goes to the gym with us. He's 48. Never fought, never had a fight in his life. I mean, he's been in street fights when he was younger and stuff. Never had a competitive fight. He just signed up to fight a guy who's 10 years younger than him.
Wow.
What are you doing, bro? What's the matter with you?
Well, I mean, if he's been training for forever, he probably knows a thing or two. He's probably just not put it into action before.
He hasn't been training forever. He's not good.
Oh, is the dude that he's fighting good?
I don't know, but he's 10 years younger than him. I would assume that automatically gives him the edge. It's not like 28 and 18 where one's a man and one's still kind of developing his body. These are like grown ass men, and
48 is getting to the back end where you can start doing shit like that for sure.
Yeah, what do you need? Like, because his son comes to the gym with him, and whenever I found out he was fighting, I was talking to his son, and his son's like, "Yeah, I don't think you should do it." Don't tell. You should tell him. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. And he's like, yeah, he just in his mind, he just wants to prove to himself that he's done it. Like he doesn't want to make a career of it. He just wants one fight so that he can say that he's done it. And like, that's very noble, but he's gonna get twatted, mate. Get absolutely battered.
If that's what he wants to do, because like you said, by the sounds of things, it's not all that dangerous to do it. So
no. No. This isn't jiu-jitsu. Like, this is MMA fight.
Oh, he's gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking punches with 4-ounce gloves. We're talking knees, kicks, elbows, and then all the jiu-jitsu, like the submissions and wrestling and all that stuff.
Made a terrible decision.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I would almost understand if he excelled in one place, like if he was like he'd been boxing for 20 years or something, and he just wanted to step into the ring. Nope. No, he's a white belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's not a good boxer or kickboxer. Like, it's not like he's even in the gym multiple times a day, or he's there like every night. He's not there that often.
Yeah, he's gonna get
He's gonna get absolutely murked, mate.
I don't. Maybe he's going for the sympathy. Maybe if he thinks he fights someone 10 years younger, they're not gonna knock him the fuck out.
I'm not. Well, because so even they do an MMA class at the gym, and I used to take it, and I'd stop taking it because I would go home and I'd have a headache when I got home. I was like, I mean, it's fun and everything, but I don't want to wake up shaking one morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to be punched in the face. I'm fine hitting a bag. That's fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
But so we would do these MMA classes together, and we would spar at the end of it sometimes. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could outbox him, and I could beat him on the ground.
He's the guy that he's fighting troubled in any way. Does he have one arm or no feet or something?
I don't know. There's actually, speaking of guys with one arm, there's a guy called Nick something who just signed a contract to do like a tournament in the UFC. It's like one of the Contender Series things. So I think Nick Newby, maybe something like that. He only got up to like right here, and the rest of it is like a nub.
Oh, that's the best. You only need that much. That's the best part.
Yeah, it's like a nightstick at that point.
You're trunching him. Okay, now we're just knocking a man with less than a full arm. This is not good.
Yeah, but I mean, like at that point, you can't do any submissions. You can't, like, all you can do is punch with one hand and kick. Like, you can't go on the ground because you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my jiu-jitsu competition is next weekend, and I think that would be pretty fun to talk about it today, and then next week we could get back into like, so how did it go?
It turns out, I didn't know this until we got in there, you can punch.
Then why do you have a black eye? It's not what I thought it was at all. But so they do a pretty good job of separating it all out. So I don't even know how many people I could stand to fight with. So I'm competing against other white belts who are between the age of 20 and 29, and 190 to 199 pounds.
What do you weigh these days?
I weighed myself on Friday, and I'm 204.
You fat son.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's about what you should be, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to be. I mean, after I got done playing basketball, and I kept eating the same way, and I was working out a million times less. I was like 225, 230.
Oh wow, you were really rocking the dad bod.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, that was right when Nora was born as well. And considering my playing weight in college was like 185.
Wow, you absolutely troughed. That's terrible.
Yeah. But now I'm in a pretty good spot. 200 pounds is pretty good. I mean, I'd like to be like 210 pounds, maybe 215, and like bulk up with some muscle. Like that would be ideal. But I mean, I'm pretty lean now. I think I'm like 13% body fat or something. And I'm 204, but I can lose. I should be able to cut some weight. I could probably cut 4 pounds of weight just with a good run or something before I go weigh in.
Well, do you mind if I go to yoga on Monday? Cool. You gonna go to a class? All right.
What you do?
I just got a text to see if I want to go to yoga on Monday.
Who do you go to yoga with?
A girl that I used to work with, maybe Kiefer, maybe Try. Huh?
All these people do yoga.
They didn't. So the place that I used to climb, the place that I used to climb has a guy that comes in and teaches a class there occasionally, or every week now.
Yeah.
And the only reason I was interested in going really is because this girl that I used to work with said that she used to do yoga and it was really good. And you had occasionally spoken about yoga. So I was like, let's see what this is about. And I went and I really liked it. And now I've been more than anyone. But every time I go back, because it's only like a tiny class. So I try and take people with me so that he's kind of, this guy's, it's worth his time almost.
Yeah.
So I take people back with me every time. Or I try to.
So who's going with you on Monday?
I don't know. Like I literally just got a text about 5 minutes ago. So I'll see if Keith wants to go, see if Trap wants to go. See what the deal is.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
It Trap's like, because the kind of yoga that it is calls it rocket yoga, but it's all it's all like headstands and handstands and like core poses and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard.
That sounds dope.
It is. Like if I can get it, it sounds pretty good. Like I got pretty close to doing my first ever handstand recently.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's not controlled at all. Like I'm trying to get it so that he doesn't have to catch my legs at the top. But he has to catch it and then I can hold it there for a little bit.
Wait, when you say a handstand, wait, did you say handstand or headstand?
Handstand.
Wait, so are you like arms extended?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a headstand pose too. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm trying to do that too, but I almost killed myself.
I feel like the headstand would be easier to do than the handstand.
I thought so too.
You have way more to balance on.
Yeah. I mean, you can explain it as logically as you like, because I have also been through the same thought process, but I still got nearly killed myself.
Do you see any changes in your body since you've been doing it?
I haven't done it nearly enough to warrant that.
Why don't you do it more than once a week then?
The guy that I like going to teaches a class once a week. Although he teaches one class a week that I can get to. The rest of them are like
that's not his living, like he teaches elsewhere.
No, yeah, he does, but they're all like morning classes across town that are like too far away for me to get to work on time and stuff like that.
Yeah, yoga's great for you. So yeah. So competition next Saturday, and I mean, I feel like I've been doing pretty well recently. I almost caught. So the guy who trains us is a black belt. There's 2 black belts that train us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they practice multiple times a day. Like they're both. One of them is just a jiu-jitsu instructor. Like that's his thing. He has his own gym.
Yeah.
And he's a real estate agent, so he just kind of makes his own hours. So he'll train a couple times a day. if you include him like teaching us, because he rolls with us as well.
Mhm.
So Friday night, I went over there. He was this guy, the guy that trains us most of the time. He was there, and we're going through this stuff. And we're learning this takedown, and it's literally like from standing. Somebody, so you grab hold of the collar of somebody, and you pull them down with you, and then you put your foot on their knee and hook their other leg, like behind the knee with your foot, and pull their leg in that you have hooked. Bring this sleeve in, so you've got an arm, so they have nothing to post out, so they can't put the hand down to stop themselves from falling. You just flip them over, and as you flip them over, like you're just landing on the ground from being in a standing position. It's like, imagine somebody takes out cuts off a leg and an arm, and then they just push you one way. He's like, ah, and you just hit the ground.
Okay.
So I'm practicing this, and so we're doing 5 on each side. So I get through my 5, and then all of a sudden I realize, like, I'm going slowly, and I'm trying to like figure out the technique and understand how to do it. I'm like, all right, let's switch. And then I realize as I'm stood up, there's a black belt in jiu-jitsu who's about to toss me all over the mat. What a bruise right here. What a bruise right here. Bruise right here.
You up?
What a bruise right here.
Nice.
And this man's about 50 pounds lighter than me.
He handed you your ass.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But he's doing it, and it's such a weird feeling. It's like, I mean, I'm a 200-pound man. Like, I'm 6'6", 200-pound man. I'm a grown piece of human being,
Mm-hmm.
and you just get ragdolled by somebody that's smaller than you, and you look at it and you're like, I shouldn't be able to do this. And that's the part about it that I just love. Like, when you go against these black belts, it almost doesn't matter what position you can be in. Like, I could be on top of him. Like, I could be sat, like, straddled across his ribs. Like almost as if the perfect position that you would want to be in a fight. Like, if I'm just, like, straddled across you and I'm just, like, punching.
Yeah.
That's the ideal position that you would want to be in a fight. Or even if I'm, like, on the back of you, like, I'm straddled across you and I've got, like, you're like this and I'm behind you just punching. The 2 instructors, these 2 black belts, it almost doesn't matter that you're in that position, because eventually it'll take them, maybe, if they were really, really forcing it, they could be out of it and have you in some kind of submission inside 45 seconds. Like, so let's say they're flat on their back and I'm just wailing away on them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably catch this first or second. He might, I mean, granted, he might take a punch here or there, but he'd probably catch one, probably my first or second punch, and
Mm-hmm.
grab a hold of it, and he'd isolate it. And then from there, he'd just figure out how to sweep me, and he'd put me on the ground, and he'd bend to something that doesn't bend that way. Like, he'd choke me out, or he'd be on my back, and I'm like, I can't do anything. It's just crazy. So this next week, I need to start to put together some kind of game plan. Because, I mean, it's all going to be people that I've never rolled. I don't know who these people are going to be. I've never rolled against them before. So, like, it's going to get to a point where it's like, all right, how are we going to do this? And, like, what's your game plan? What are you going to do when you're here? What are you going to do when this happens? What are you going to do at this point? Blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you win, you win a belt. Like, if you win your division, you win a belt. Like a WWE style gold belt. Yeah. So if I win that thing, I mean, granted, I don't even know how many people there are that are 200 pounds in the world that are 28 to 30, 20 to 28 or 29, whatever it is, that are white belts in jiu-jitsu at 200 pounds. Like, I mean, I could be competing against like 5 people, or I could be competing against 15 people. I have no idea how many people are going to be there. I've had friends that have competed and they finished 3rd, but there's only 3 people in the division. But I mean, the instructors that teach us, they will regularly finish 1st in competition. And I mean, they're at weight classes like 160, and there's a lot of people that are down, or 185 pounds or whatever it is. So I mean, in theory, I could go against not a lot of people, and I might be able to sneak a win.
Do it.
Yeah. So next time, if you see me and we saw the call, and I've just got this strap across my chest.
Nice.
I'd
Absolutely
actually
boss move.
try and loop that through my slack so I could wear that as my belt to work. Nobody could tell me shit. If I win that belt, try telling me anything. Ben, if you don't start doing your work, you're fired. Get lost.
I hope that happens. I hope you get fired so bad.
Still people say that. Yeah, it would be the most minimal of achievements to win some white belt award. Like, it's not like I'm some world champion.
Yeah, to get fired over is definitely minimal.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Anyway, how long is this call on?
How long what?
How long has this call been on here?
Probably too long.
Yeah, it's 20 to midnight and I'm sleepy.
All right, yeah. Let's call it then. Before you go, before all of our watchers or listeners, go ahead and like and subscribe. Come back next week and I will tell you how the jiu-jitsu competition went. So, any last words, Jimbo?
I can't wait to hear about how you got knocked out despite all odds.
Yeah, there's going to be some freak accident that ends up me with a broken nose and I was left unconscious on the ground or something.
You trip getting out of your car on the way.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you're home. Glad you're safe. Glad you had fun in Gran Canaria.
Speak to you soon, okay?
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye.